Out here, we work hard and we play so much harder. We dress up like cowboys and ranchers, so we can look tough for the other men. We settle our differences at the local watering hole over a bottle or 7, ending things with a dignitary fistfight. Make the most of your dollar and come out of this recession swinging with a truck that's between 8 and 10K, give or take. Thanks to tariff market manipulation, it's never been cheaper to buy American, and to buy Declasse. The Walden L35 is the most dependable shit hauler on, off, and on the side of the road, not made by some Japanese commies. This small truck is American made, for real this time. Who doesn't love a small truck? Sure enough, like any other pickup truck, it'll induct you into a life of hauling stuff for family, friends, and, well, just about anyone who'll pretend to be your friend for a lift. Such a list includes, but isn't limited to, furniture from a messy divorce you saw coming years ago, lumber and hardware for a deck that'll never be built despite watching all those home improvement shows, and of course the monster impulse purchases. Like clearance barbecues, large enough to grill 2 farms worth of livestock simultaneously. Just waiting on that deck first. No matter the size, if you own something with cargo space, you're a favor waiting to be called. In this sense, compact trucks like the Walton are just as important as the Bobcats, Bisons, and Contenders. The L35 can withstand just about any tool or building material a contractor will scrape across the bed. Because everyone knows peak America is buying a cheap pickup truck to use like a pickup truck, so you can avoid damaging your prized possession. A more expensive pickup truck. But that's where the similarities begin to fade. You see, the Walton L35 is not your average alphabet belching, overall wearing, public catcalling type of truck. Declasse built the L35 platform for just about anyone who wanted to live the full-size truck lifestyle, but didn't want all the hassles that came with owning one. The Walton was designed to be much easier to park at the farmer's market, as affordable as the competition's cheapest, and far less fuel dependent, just in case the Middle East decided it was time to send us back to the Stone Age again. Perhaps most importantly, the Walton platform was designed to be accessorized like a child's toy, or a pair of uglies. The L35 could be sold as a rancher, or even an extended cab. There were also a few turbocharged variants that could quarter-mile curb stomp the sports cars of their day. Declasse even used the Walton as a testbed for electrical vehicle research, subsequently crushing what they could. Slightly less obscure were the special off-road packages for the L35. Anyone could go out and get a lift kit to make their Sand King into a road-legal Liberator. The Walton, on the other hand, came with a raised factory suspension, high enough to clear toddler-sized sand dunes. The front and rear bumpers were reinforced with a tubular frame, as was the truck bed, with a light-studded roll bar. And of course, this special L35 could come in black, white, or red, with the decals to back it up. Declasse may have came second when it came to the pony car and the original SUV, but it really hit it out of the park when it got to the mini truck market first. By the early 1970s, the American automotive dynasty was beginning to wear itself thin. Long before the oil embargo, there was already a growing market curve for cars and trucks which weighed less than a metric ton and had a combined MPG rating in the double digits, many of which happened to be Japanese. After doing the unthinkable and rebadging and reassembling Japanese mini-trucks as Vapids and Declasses, each group got to work on developing an American counterpart. The subsequent oil shortages only further exacerbated the problems of the American motor car, built on decades of unquestioned complacency. Declasse had to stick the landing with a fuel-efficient truck that they could call their own, and give the growing competition a run for its money. Declasse's launch of the Walton did just that. Somehow they restrained themselves and gave the L35 a 6-cylinder, in the same way an authentic Italian restaurant waiter would sigh serving chicken nuggets to a table. Declasse's V6 was thrown at the American people half-heartedly. But it worked. Paired with the familiar stylings of a full-sized truck, only scaled down, the Walton L35 cemented itself as the definitive American compact pickup, Vapid and Bravado's subsequent attempts forever living in its shadow. The Walton even took the Rancher nameplate when the Rancher became the XL and soon after the Granger. So what does the interior of a less than $10,000 truck look like? Well, you might be shocked to learn that the L35 came with a driver airbag, decreasing accident fatalities on board by about 30%. But that's also because the Walton came with a bench seat capable of fitting one extra person, so long as it didn't mind a little bit of lever grabbing between their legs. The rest of the cabin came decked out in features like AM/FM radio, wind-up windows, defrosters, AC, and heaters, all of which could be controlled with a variable slider, so you could choose just how on or off they are. So what does a Walton feel like to drive? It's no Enos when it comes to taking turns, nor does it climb terrain like the illegitimate bastard child of a military spec off-road or concept vehicle. Say that 5 times fast. But it does borrow its suspension from the Sabre, so corners feel a lot more planted as opposed to on the verge of capsize with most trucks. Top speed? What more do you want from a compact truck? It's fine. It might be fair to say that the L35 is yet another incremental shift towards the truck and SUV-induced congestion of our roads and highways. Who could argue with the product that compounded the what-if needs of the average American into a convenient size, all for the price of a little Clucker's kids meal? Furthermore, it's evidence that at one point in time you could actually buy something inexpensive and reliable.